Have you ever planned something that should have been exciting and instead started to feel heavy? That was me planning our trip to Greece. Hi, I'm Monica Primo, founder of Encore Life Coaching and Mavens with Moxie. I help retiring women design and create a life they can't wait to live. We had the basics of the trip planned. We had the flights booked, we had the lodging, we had the ferries, but I really wasn't excited about the trip. Something was off, and I didn't know exactly what it was. And that feeling of being unsettled was really a turning point for me. And I realized I was planning for the way that we traveled when we were in 2019, traveling throughout Europe and had a lot of time, and we were jumping around a lot to different cities. So it was a completely different experience being in one area and traveling around versus having a shorter period of time, flying on both legs, and going into the trip being a little tired, which is exactly how I was feeling last week. So when my mindset shifted from traveling and planning the way that we always did to being aligned with who I am now, everything shifted. I've always prided myself on being a traveler, the person who gets into the culture, doesn't just hit the highlights, but really explores what it's like to live there. That's what I like to do. And when I realized in this trip that I wanted to do a little bit of all the kinds of travel, I wanted to be a tourist, the person who just kind of checks off the highlights, the traveler who goes a little deep and experiences the culture and learns by wandering around. And the piece that I wasn't really thinking about was being the vacationer and just being able to sit and relax and enjoy and regroup. And I realized on this trip, I needed all of those things. And I shifted my thoughts and my mindset from doing to feeling. How do I want to experience Greece during this trip? How do I want to explore and spend my time this time based on where I am now? So we made some changes to the trip. We cut out one of the islands and said, you know what? We just need more time to just be. We booked a tour guide in Athens to help us maximize the tourist part and see all the highlights in the short amount of time we had. And then I also really wanted to take this catamaran cruise, something that for whatever reason, just wasn't on my radar as something to do there. And it's a totally different way of experiencing the islands and the sea. So we booked a sunset catamaran trip. And as I started planning those things, everything in my being and my feeling about this trip shifted. I really started to focus on the experience that I want to have. And I remembered seeing the movie Shirley Valentine years ago about a woman who goes to Greece with a friend of hers and falls in love with living. And that's what initially pulled me to go to Greece. And that's the feeling that I had too. It's like, I want to just feel the Greek lifestyle. I want to be in that attitude, that mindset. And it really helped me tap into why I travel at all, and how I want to not only experience travel, but experience travel and my life. So there really is a connection between traveling and life design. When you start to think about who am I now? What do I want to be and do in this season of my life or on this vacation? And what is my intention? Instead of reacting and doing whatever we normally do, being really intentional about how I spend my time, how I spend my money, where am I going to put my energy on this trip? And then in the overall picture, how do I want to live? So if you want to stop living on autopilot, doing things the way you've always done them, and looking for some more intentional design about how you live your life, I invite you to join Mavens with Moxie. It's a community of women who are trying to figure out what their Encore life is going to be, and how they want to live their best, biggest, most fulfilling life. Go to myencorecoach.com/mavens to learn more about the community. And if you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. So I want to know, what are your travel plans? Where are you going next? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Are you typically a tourist hitting the highlights, a traveler going deep, or a vacationer just looking for a little R&R and reset? No matter what kind of traveler you are, remember life is a journey and whatever happens is part of the adventure. So go out, live your best life, and enjoy your adventure every day.